Welcome to Printronix Today. This is Terry Whitmire. Today we're going to talk about the online data validation unit, how quick and easy it is to install, and we're going to also compare that to installing the SV100 onto a Zebra printer. So as you see sitting in front of you, you see the T5000 Energy Star printer with the online data validation unit. Let's just discuss that first of all. On the ease of install, there's a mounting bracket that gets mounted to the frame of the printer. Mounting bracket that gets mounted to the frame of the printer with 4 screws. That mounting bracket then is secured by 4 screws, and then the validator actually gets mounted to the mounting bracket with 2 additional screws. And you can see it's fixed in position. It is a fixed position. I can physically lift up the printer and grab the printer by it. It's not going to move. It is fixed into position. There's no adjustment, there's no modification. It's just set up and ready to go. Then it's a matter of setting up the validator, is just going through the validator menu on the printer and configuring the printer to turn the validator on, and then just making sure that all the validator settings in the printer are set right out of the box. You don't have to do anything but just what I just did. Just turn the validator on and the printer is now set up. The also unique thing about the Printronix thermal printer is we can actually do a barcode demo test right from the main menu. So we can go to the test print menu and select barcode demo, and it'll print one label. And if you can see, it prints 2 barcodes on the label, one code 128 and one code 39. So I can test the actual validator to ensure it's working. I'm going to run that barcode demo again and block the beam. The printer's going to stop, back up, void out the label, and then retry that label again. So not even hooked up to the customer system, I can actually install the validator, minimal adjustment, physically run a demo to ensure the validator works before I even plug into your system to plug your data code to the printer. So now, let's go and review the system on the Zebra side. On the Zebra side, you can see the Zebra printer sitting on a stand, and the stand then has an upright piece and a vertical piece and a horizontal piece that actually the validator mounts to. Now, to set this up, you think that's pretty simple right here, but to set this up, this has to be adjusted up and down, left and right, and if you can see, the beam has to be adjusted onto that tear-off bar right there. And then I have to physically get a demo software package, plug into the serial port right here, onto my laptop computer, run a systems program software called ScanVision to physically set up the distance of that beam and the angle of that beam, and then I have to mount it. So the first things you can see real quick is it takes some time to set that up. It's not simple. Second is, it's very easy to throw that adjustment out just by somebody turning the unit. Just somebody by moving the unit or actually moving the printer on the base. So if I change labels and ribbons and I move the unit just a slight bit, now my beam is off and the validator will not work. So let's just say we've got everything set up right and the validator beam's in position, everything is set correctly. Then the additional thing we have to do, we physically have to go to the validator and configure the validator to say how many barcodes on the label that I need to see. So in this particular case, I need to tell the validator to look for 2. Now what dilemma does that cause? It causes a couple things. It causes a dilemma is that every label has to have 2 barcodes on it. So if the customer has jobs that have 1 barcode on one label and 2 on another and no blank on a third, the SV unit is not compatible to do that because I have to tell the SV, look for a number of barcodes. The Printronix printer with the validator out of the box automatically discerns how many barcodes are coming on the label. So there's no adjustment, no modification. It just knows to look for 1, look for 2, look for 10. So let's go back. Let's say I've configured it now. It's set up mechanically. Oh, by the way, I had to pull the side cover of the printer off and had to actually install another logic board, which is an I/O board. And I had to connect all the power sources and the logic up to the printer to actually tell the printer to do what? You saw on the Printronix printer, it stopped, backed up, and voided. I just came back from lunch. Came to see my 2 printers that I have with the Printronix with online data validation unit and the Zebra printer with the SV. And what do I discover? Well, I guess on the thermal printer from Printronix, I discover all my labels are printed. And I can actually see by my quality audit report at the end that I'm going to actually find a couple bad labels in between the good ones. But my job is done and complete. Unfortunately, on the Zebra side, I come back to find that the printer stopped after 3 labels were printed, and I still have 100 labels more to go. The key components here, just to show you that comparison. The Printronix validation option, quick and simple, out-of-the-box compatible. And we're running Zebra emulation, we run Datamax emulation, whatever it is, doesn't matter. The printer auto discerns how many barcodes, tells the validator to look for that many, automatically checks and corrects it, and voids it out and reprints it. Where if you buy a Zebra printer, in this case, this is an XI3. The newest XI4s, there is no option for the XI4. So if the customer has an XI4 today, I can't even install this option on the XI4 today. It only is good on the XI3. So that's what we wanted to talk about in summary today, was to share the difference between the Printronix online data validation unit and the SV unit from RJS on the Zebra Xi Series 3.